Yes, people, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Touchline Facts. First and foremost, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to me. Subscribe to the guys as well. I'm going to put their links in the title. Let me just sort that out. But yeah, today we're joined by Yasab, Mike's man. What you lot saying, bro?
All good, man. All good. All good. All good. Thank you for having me on, man. It's good to be on. It's good to be on the channel, man.
No worries, man. What you saying, Yasab, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Obviously, no club football. You know, so man's just chilling, bro. You know, it feels like the summer holidays. You know them ones. Man's just watching international football.
It felt weird today, like Saturday, as a Saturday, to have no football on. It just felt weird, bro. It hasn't had happened in months, innit? Get the likes up, hit the sub button, man. We're literally 86 subs off 500. We're on 414. So we can get 415 by the end of today. I'll take that, bro. I can't lie, I'll take that. But we're gonna get their links in the title. Times Yasser. Let me tell you. Yasser, how many subs you on, bro?
Me, 161, I think.
And how many you on, Max?
I'm on 828. So yeah.
Oh, so you're only on 850. So Yasser's on road to 200 and you're on road to 850.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on road to 500, man. I'm getting that by the end of this month, by the end of next month, 100%. I'm up in the work rate. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Man United win the Europa League and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and get some more content out there and that. But yeah, what you not saying, man? Anyways, man, we're going, bro.
If you lose one of them games to the Europa League, you know what I'm saying? You might hit that 1K by the end of the season.
I don't know. That's only happens. That only happens to people that are already up there, because then they're like, people will go and click on their stream in it to like see what they're saying and things like that. Yeah, but with me, because I'm not
you never know, man. You never know, innit? Like you might get clipped by No Context TV or something, bro, and it might change your life.
Sure, true. I've already been clipped. I actually already got clipped on that. You saw that?
I seen it. Yeah, I think.
I see that clip. Yeah,
he's inside show and someone kept knocking on the door. His mum's calling you or something, innit?
Yeah, I got like 100k views or something on Twitter or something like that, bro. And it gave me like 20 subs.
That's sick, though. You got to capitalize at any opportunity, you know. Anytime I see myself clipped or go like semi-viral, I'm putting my link in the comments every single time. I'm like, yeah, sub to me here, bro.
Luckily for me, it had my thing, YT Touchline Facts. So I was like, bro, that's why people found me in that. And there was obviously something like that. Yeah, it sounded along them lines. And that, it gave me like 20 subs but just before the new year. And I was trying to get 300. I think I was on like 280. And I got to 300 and just like that, bro. Just went like, woke up one morning and I was on 300 and it kept going up as well the next day. So I was like, fucking hell. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah. Exactly. All it really takes is that one clip in it, and then you get you go on like the channel or something like that, and you get your name out there, things like that. But yeah,
bro, I was on 158 earlier today, bro. I literally went on Lewis's channel because obviously the Chelsea legends played the Liverpool legends, yeah. So he messaged me, he was like, "Yo, jump on." So I went on, jumped on. When jumped off, I got like 4 or whatever subs, bro. I was like, "What?" Okay, cool. You know, because bro, you see me, I don't really. It's weird to say, yeah. Yes, of course we do it to get subs and that, but that's never been my main aim. Because I used to jump on people's channels before I had any YouTube channel, innit? So it was never really a thing. It's just what became a thing where everyone kept asking me, "Yo, do a channel and that." And then I thought, well, since I'm already going on people's channels and people know me, I might as well have somewhere to direct them in case. You know what I'm saying? So you can still kind of keep in touch with the people that you see and stuff, or that you talk to, innit?
Yeah, I usually get some sort of people like me saying something outrageous.
Yeah, I've been on people's channels. That's how I probably got my name out there. To honestly, that's how I met like Hotspur Cave and Yasser from going on Northside.
Yeah.
I went on League Gunners one time. I've been on League Gunners a few times, to honestly, but yeah, I went on League Gunner. I went on Sides, as I said. I went on Flawlesses. Obviously, been on Mike's. I've been on Zeers. I've been on all this. So that helps. Everyone helps each other, innit? I guess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get people's names out there, stuff like that. But yeah, Yasser, man, do you want to start your club?
But you're the host. Why didn't you start with your club?
Let's talk about my club. Do you know what I'm saying? Like at the minute, as I said, we're still the only team in the top 5 leagues unbeaten in Europe. So yeah, we won or drew every game in Europe, and we won 6 and drawn 4. Yeah, we're on a decent bit of form at the minute. I can't lie to you, man. You know what I mean? If we had played like this the whole season, say if we had a striker or the goals are coming through, because at the minute Bruno's scoring quite a few and we'd probably be in the top 4 race because we're only about 12. We're only 11 points off Chelsea, and they're 4th. Do you know what I'm saying?
The league's tight.
Look how bad we've been this season. That's how arse this Premier League is. Do you know what I'm saying? Look how bad we've been this season, and we're only 11 points off 4th. And I said, if we had a striker, do you know what I'm saying? I think even if we had an average striker, not average striker, like Mateta, he's on like 12, 13 goals or something like that. See, like obviously Forest, Chris Wood or something like that. Yeah, but see, like Mateta, I was saying, Palace. Say if we had him and he scored 13, 14 goals, we'd probably have an extra 8 points or 10 points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because those 1-alls are saying we're turning into a 2-1. And they grab you an extra point, the extra 2 points.
Yeah, and he's using that formation as well.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he does. He's played his best football in that formation. You know what I mean? He was nobody until Glasner turned up and played that formation. He probably suits better as, having 2 10s behind him rather than 2 wingers trying to, cross the ball into him and being alone in the box, where he's probably better at suiting it, making the runs, running the channels and things like that. Yeah. But, as I was saying, what do you want to start at your club? Because your club's probably more interesting to talk about in a minute with Chelsea.
Yeah, for 100.
Is Cole Palmer out for the season?
No, so basically, no, it's weird, bro. Because the way it happened is before that Copenhagen game we had at home, we had apparently Palmer had a knock or something, and then for some reason he brought him on in the second half. Yeah, I don't know if it was more to give him, sometimes just to check. Sometimes they play the players just a half or whatever to see what's going on fitness wise and that. And bro, after the game, bro, he was missing chances and that, and I was like, he didn't give me confidence in it when it comes to even the Arsenal game, obviously. And then he ended up going. The weekend came, Arsenal game, we found out he's not thinking. We haven't really heard anything about what's going on with him in it. So there's not been any news.
Hit these likes up, boys, by the way.
Huh?
Hit the likes up.
Oh, hit the likes. Yeah, bro, slap the like people, man. Let's keep 100% ratio in it.
Well, so is he injured for a certain period of time, or?
But that's the thing. We haven't heard any news, bro. This is the thing. So I can't really tell you what's going on. Like for all I know, he could be starting the next game, and it could be a knock. But he did pull out, obviously, he did pull out the England team, and that's only I think from what I've heard is that.
Though. I don't blame him.
I think just to make sure, just in case, to keep him, you know what I'm saying, just keep him warm and see what's going on and all that. Bro, besides that, obviously, I think Jackson's gonna come back. Lavia's back. So our squad is slowly kind of going back to what it was, obviously, beginning of the season.
Yeah, but Lavia, is gonna get injured again.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm trying to be one of them people that's a bit more hopeful when it comes to Lavia. I never expected.
I hear it.
But it's weird. I hear it, but it's like I didn't expect Reece James to be here now. Still.
No.
You know what I mean? The amount of games he's played since he came back from his last, obviously, whatever injury he had recently, he has played many games and he's actually been able to stay fit, innit? So my thing is, look, if they've managed it properly, and obviously this is one of the reasons why I have the same amount of hate to Poch that Mike has for Lopetegui, innit? It's one of them ones, bro. Because he rushed back. He had one training session on the Poch, and then since then he's been injured, bro. Imagine one training session. He never had the injury at Southampton. Came to us, made him run or do some mad thing, and he's been injured.
What do you think of Palmer's form though before his injury? Because I want to talk about Bruno as well. Because I know that Bruno's someone who I know for a fact, by the way you judge footballers, you don't rate Bruno. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could only tell. Yeah, because I think personally right now he's the best attacking midfielder in the league on form. I don't think anyone's better than him at the moment on form. If you look at Odegaard, Foden, Palmer, they're not been better than him recently. Yeah.
Okay.
In my opinion. What's going on with Palmer? Because I don't think he's actually played well pretty much all season. I think he's just had games where he's got ridiculous amount of GA. Brighton, he got 4. Wolves, he got 5. And he's bulked up his stats. I think in terms of actual performances, I don't think Palmer's been that good this season.
I hear it. Look, with Palmer, even when he was playing well, our issue was that no one was finishing the chances. So he wasn't getting that same number of GA that he was getting, or any kind of GA. Just to get it, just to make it look like he's playing well, even if he wasn't in it. There was a period of time where he was moved from the right hand side. Remember, because he was playing, he kind of plays predominantly on the right, and even in the 10, he kind of floats to the right. Whereas in some of the big games, and you've probably seen it as well, touchline, when we played you lot at Old Trafford. Was it Old Trafford? He was playing all right on the right, and then we moved him to the left, and he just kept moving. And I think sometimes some players just have this thing where if the whole team's form goes down, their form goes down. It just depends on what the way the team's playing, innit? Yes, last season it was different, and he was just floating about doing whatever he wants to do. But I think in some ways the system can also affect you, innit? Because when it's a system-based thing, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what form you're in, you have to make sure you're working your cog, innit? It's just one of them ones. But he hasn't. I can't say he's been playing well like this season. I think at a certain point, I can't remember the game, it just hasn't been the same since. And then it's been a knock-on effect in terms of, so if he hasn't scored this game, he kind of you can tell that he's trying to do better the next game, but then nothing comes off and he kind of forces certain things. You get it? And then it looks like, okay, you know what?
Okay, right.
Yeah, he's just trolling.
No, I know he's a troll. Xerxes, a nutmeg merchant.
Big up Musty, bro, the biggest troll on YouTube, bro.
Yeah, man. Well, at the same time, it's like it's one of them things when I was like, look, then even if Palmer's not stepping up, there's not anyone else to stepping up. Like Copenhagen, Reece James shot from outside the box, the first leg, second leg, home leg. I think it was Cucurella or someone scored, bro. Like, you know, some of the the Leicester game. Dewsbury Hall, yeah, and then it was Leicester, it was Cucurella. So it's like some of the things is just not going well for us, isn't it? And I think this is why I mentioned Lavia. I know that he's not injury. I mean, I know that he's injury prone and stuff, right? But when you look at how we played beginning of the season, if Lavia's fit, Reece James ain't playing in the midfield. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's that we missed that aggressiveness that we had.
Yeah, I saw that. I haven't watched many of the games.
Especially with Fofana and Lavia in midfield, yeah. There's more aggressiveness in it. And then also the way we play,
You're talking about Fofana, the midfielder, or the defender? Because I know you have two
the defender. Remember the Leicester defender, Wesley Fofana.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the light skin one.
Yeah. He's come back from his injury.
I was wondering because I saw that on FOTMob because I wasn't watching your games. I think we're playing at the similar times and that. I haven't watched Chelsea games.
Yeah.
And I saw it said Reece James in midfield, and I was like, oh, what's that about? Because I know he was doing Gusto in midfield, but Gusto doesn't suit that. Gusto's more the overlapping fullback in it. That's what
no. But this is the thing with Reece James, he's playing him in the pivot with Caicedo. Do you get it?
Oh no, that's actually true, by the way.
No, fuck off, man! Like this has been an ongoing joke
all the time. Mike Smith is all the time.
Right, this is what happens here when you put your face out on TikTok. Yeah, they'll just run off of every fucking lookalike. I apparently look like Fabianski and Mavropanos, according to TikTok. Like I look like the whole West Ham squad, bro. Apparently,
bruv, so... you know expressions called, expressions called north face, not north face, sorry, north side, sorry. Virgil van Vape, because he sits there vaping.
Yeah, you didn't know. I think that's expressions calls him that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fucking jokes.
Expressions came up with that name, bro.
Yeah, man.
No, but this is the thing. What I was trying to say was, basically what he was doing with Gusto is more inverting from right back into midfield, whereas with Reece James, in the last couple of weeks, whatever, since he came back from his injury, he's actually playing him in the double. He's playing him in the double pivot with Caicedo, so he's actually playing in midfield, isn't it? So he's not inverting into midfield. So he just hasn't. Even though he did play midfield, I think when he played for, was it Wigan? Bro, my brain fried. I don't know who he played for before. He went on loan. I don't remember where he played. He's not really. You can't see. He just doesn't suit it as much, innit? So he's one of them ones where.
Are you Maresca out or Maresca in?
Nah, I'm in the middle, bro. There's no in or out. You know what I'm saying? I'm more of a balanced thing. So I'm like, well, let me assess what he's done for me this season, and then I make a decision based on that, innit? So I ain't really on.
To be fair, he is in the top 4 right now. I'm not saying if you want Maresca out, I wouldn't ever hold any fan against that because of the standard that they set. And the 3-4 years ago, you were winning Champions Leagues. Not saying that you shouldn't be Maresca out. You can't be Maresca out. My problem is that I'm saying the thing with Chelsea, they were trying to get into the top 4. I know they tried to change it now to say that it's next year they want to get top 4. That's a lie. It's this year they wanted top 4. We all thought.
No, they're lying. Yeah, they said they sacked Pochettino to be in the top 4. Away. Bro, he's lying just to keep the pressure away, but he knows. Basically, when they signed him, sorry, bro, touchdown. When they signed him, well, when they sacked Poch, they said they sacked Poch because Poch didn't reach
Yeah,
the
that's what I was
targets, which is
saying.
top
Yeah,
4. And then now, obviously, they said the next manager has to get top 4. For me, it's just the transfer windows, bro. The transfer windows done us dirty, bro. Like not getting a striker and that and goalkeeper in the summer, whatever, man. Let's say whatever reason, from some rumors we heard that they wanted to go with Jackson, kind of test the waters and see if he's actually the one. If it's not the one, they were gonna get someone in January, innit? They were trying to get Osherman anyway, so it was one of them ones, but they didn't want to spend. But I'll be honest, I don't want to personally. I don't think he's worth 350 a week, bro.
He's not. But this is what I'm saying. You know, Don, isn't it? Greasy Don.
Yeah, Don. Yeah.
He said, he was the one that pushed that narrative out. Oh, he's not actually worth the 350 grand a week. And I said, cool. But he also said in another breath that if Osimhen was at Chelsea, they'd get top 4 and they'd won 2 trophies last year because you got to the final in it last year and you got to the semi-final. And he said you would have won both those games. I assume he thinks you would beat United in the final as well, which would have won you 2 trophies and got you top 4. If a striker comes into my team and turns it from 6th place and 0 trophies to 4th place and 2 trophies, I'd say he's worth 300 grand a week. I'm not saying he is. I don't think he is. It all depends on the team, innit? You know what I'm saying? I know you're linked with Delap. I actually quite think Delap's decent, by the way. I think Delap is a decent player. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, I don't even know. Is Osimhen actually wanting 350 grand a week? Because you had this same problem with Elise. You were sitting there, like, didn't want to pay Elise's wages that he wanted or some shit. I'm like, bruv, you've got no.
Elise wanted Champions League.
Yeah, but no. But it was before, and I remember. I heard it was because of the wages as well. Because I know a Chelsea fan that said to me, said Elise's wage demands were too high, and it said the Chelsea didn't want to pay that, and I was like, he's a miles bigger upgrade on what you've got.
We didn't have Champions League.
At least like with Jackson, I think Jackson's decent, by the way. I don't know. Do you want Liam Delap? I mean, have any of you ever watched this Etike geezer? He plays for
Yeah, I heard about him.
I've heard about him for years. I never watched him though.
Yeah, apparently he's similar to Isak. That's what I heard.
But he scored a hat-trick yesterday, innit? On the 21s or whatever it was.
Yeah, the 21s against England and that. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like Liam Delap. I think, you know what it is sometimes, yeah? Even if, this is my thing, innit? Especially if your team or club plays a system-based thing, so it's more very, very rigid and all that. If the manager ends up not buying someone that is worth 100, like a Isak or the number 1 or the hot strikers right now, but he buys a player who basically suits everything the club needs, and he's 20 million, I don't care, bro. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if the team's gonna play well, he can do his job and whatever. One of them ones. That's what you need, isn't it? You're kind of getting what you need, basically. But you
need to start getting proven quality. I know. I think I spoke to you about that geezer you just signed, the 17-year-old, the one we be linked with. I always butcher his name. It's like
Quenda.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, I'm looking at it going like, Chelsea do not need this guy. I mean, I know you're a Sancho fan, yeah. The Sancho's been awful apparently recently. I know
since the City game, yeah.
Yeah, well, I heard they said that I think the stat was he got his first shot on target the other day or something in 3 months.
Second
or something
shot.
Like that. Yeah, something along them lines, isn't it? And I'm like, bruv. But I always knew that with Sancho. He was never at United. He never took shots. He only took shots when it was high proportion of it actually going close in, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? He was always a pass first kind of player. Yeah. So I know I'm not that surprised that he didn't shoot. Like, you know what I'm saying? At least you do want your winger to be able to shoot, but I'm not surprised that's the type of player he is.
Yeah, but this is the thing, Touchline. You know how you understand that he basically isn't that player.
Yeah.
But you can't expect him to do or want him to do what a Leao does, bro, or what a Barcola does. When it's not,
that's why you have to get someone else.
Guy, then he's not that guy. But you'd rather have 2 different profiles. Like, okay, this is Sancho, but I can bring someone who's more of a direct or goal-scoring winger, whatever you want to call him. Put him on the left if Sancho doesn't do what you need to do. Do you get it? So you can start having.
Personally, I thought he could try and Sancho in the 10 and put Palmer on the right. I thought that would have been better.
Yeah.
Especially when Palmer's not there, Sancho's perfect there.
I always thought Palmer was better on the right. Anyways, I always thought he was better on the right. I always thought in the big games you should play Palmer on the right because in the 10 the game bypasses him because he doesn't have much of the ball, especially in the big games because obviously you're against teams that are going to have a lot of the ball, and even when he does have the ball, he doesn't have much time to think. Do you know what I'm saying? He's still a young developing player. So I was sitting there going, put Sancho in the 10. I don't think defensively he's any good. Like, he's a pussy. You know, he never goes in and puts a tackle in. However, do you know what I'm saying? I still think, there's a player in the 10 and you can put, You need a winger. You need someone that generates shots. Do you know what I'm saying? Someone like, I don't want to sound like Garnacho, you know what I'm saying? But like I can see low key, you know what I mean? There was a thing about it. Like the one thing Garnacho does do when he's on the left, he just shoots. Do you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's what Chelsea need. They need someone in a winger position. Yeah, someone in the wing that's going to have 3 or 4 shots and create chances and create a bit of panic in the front line. Whereas Sancho, he just tries to play the tiki-taka ball and all that. And I don't feel like every game you should be doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because every game is not suited to that type of play.
Yeah,
especially with the level of your team's got.
It doesn't help when you don't have that proper like number 9 to like help him link up as well. Like my whole thing is when teams play number 10s, yeah, they don't even play number 10s like number 10s anymore. They just play number 10s on one side. So nobody's floating. If Palmer's on the left, he's on the left hand only. If Palmer's on the right, he's on the right hand only. Nobody's combining. It's not just Chelsea that do that. You see with Erdegaard and that. You see with better teams that do that, playing like them so-called creative players and that. I feel like if you're going to play with someone like a Sancho, yeah, you play someone up front who's like a proper 9 who's actually going to link up. But that's the problem with Chelsea. Yeah, you didn't buy anyone in the fucking transfer window, bro.
That's one thing I say. Yeah, Sancho prefers always to play with a guy that runs him behind. He always prefers a striker like that.
But this is the thing, you know, the Bournemouth game.
He liked playing with Ronaldo when he used to, and Ronaldo never used to run the channels either. Ronaldo could still, because he's a striker, he's got someone to pass to. Sancho don't like shooting. That's one thing he don't like doing. He doesn't like it.
And he likes shooting. He looks like he likes shooting if he knows he's gonna score.
Yeah,
he knows he's going to position and he will try a shot because
he can strike a ball. Like he can actually shoot. You know what I'm saying?
He can. Yeah.
Anyone's seen it? Go look at Jadon Sancho goal against Barcelona. He sits 2 players on his bum and smacks it with his weak foot into the bottom.
Bro, I've seen like a 10-minute comp of him shooting at Dortmund and I don't know United. Like he does shoot and he does score, but it's like
so composed in the box. That's one thing I noticed. But if you go look, remember the Van Dijk one where he sat? Was Alisson on his bum? Yeah, he broke. Most players would have. If that's Garnacho, he just shoots. He probably still gets it in. He might still score, but Sancho took 2 players on their bum, and he's got Van Dijk sitting there like this, and he just put it in the bottom corner, bang.
Yeah, touchline. Most people in the league, probably like 90% of people in the league, are probably just shooting and it gets blocked. The Sancho has got the composure just to sit 2 people down there.
But he's more safe. He's safe with it. So what he's thinking is, instead of wasting
that's why I think he should be in the 10, bro.
Instead of wasting the ball, I'm going to pass it to someone else so we keep the ball. So it's not that he's scared to do it because he keep taking his man on if he wants, but it's more he's more of a safe player first, isn't it? If you need to take that risk, you will take that risk. But there's the levels to it because when we had that game when he came on his first debut, he had Cucurella overlapping him, so he was able to mess about that fullback, innit? Take him on the inside, take him on the outside. He didn't know where he was going, and his way of pass, bro. When he passes that ball, it's literally he almost teases you, innit? In terms of when he passes it in front of you to make that run, innit? Because you know, oh, it's a bit ahead of me, so you're already making that run, or you kind of get to it, and then it's like he hasn't really, like, especially in the last goal, there's no more Jackson making runs. Nkunku's like a statue, just standing there, Bro, I ain't never seen anyone that stiff in the 10. He ain't got no position, like, you can't play him in the 9, you don't know it.
He's not a 9. Is it hard Bundesliga attacks?
I never really see, bro, these some of these players that played in the Bundesliga, bro, they come to the league and then, bro, you're just looking at them like, when's it actually going to start clicking?
They want too many touches on the ball, bro. They get too much space in the Bundesliga, bro. When you get in the Premier League, as much as you're in the best league, you're not going to get too many touches here. You're going to get space, you're not going to get too many touches. Simple as that. Because as much as you get space behind, that space closes off quick. Like with Sancho, the reason why I think some like in the 10 he'd be good, I rate him on most positions behind the striker anyway. But the reason why he'd be good in the 10 is because the type of runs that Jackson makes would benefit him. Because the type of runs that Jackson makes, only Palmer can find that certain pass where he can build a partnership. If you can find a way though, because sometimes Chelsea play with everyone plays 3-2-4-1 in possession. So if you can find like Sancho and Palmer in the 2 10s with Jackson running in behind, I think that's the formula for me. Like it's not always Sancho on the touchline.
Different to Palmer though, in terms of Sancho likes those intricate passes, isn't it? Whereas Palmer can ping a ball over the top, he can cross the ball into the box. Sancho don't ever cross the ball. Sancho likes the overlap, but he'll find you through a gap. Like he won't just pass to you; he'll find you through a gap and make it perfectly weighted.
Remember this way he did with Nkunku. Remember that first goal that his first assist or whatever it was against Bournemouth. He moved and then he just made it free. Yes, Nkunku had to move a little bit and do his thing as well.
Even what's going on with his dribbling, man? Because I watched this guy in the Champions League, and we saw what Nuno Mendes did to Salah. Yeah, look what Sancho did to Nuno Mendes in that first leg, bruv. This guy dribbled past him. He broke the record, I think, for the most.
Dembele was on that pitch. Remember, Dembele was on that pitch, Mbappe was on that pitch, and no one looked anywhere as near.
This is when he looked a lot slimmer. He looked a lot happier. I don't know. Maybe it's the Prem, man. Maybe he just doesn't suit the England environment. Maybe he's better.
With the system around. You're with the system that Chelsea play. The problem is you guys are too focused on third man runs and runners in behind. So whenever the winger gets the ball, they just want to pass it behind to the runner in behind the midfield all the time. They don't actually get the wingers anymore to go and express themselves when they dribble. Because at Leicester, that was the one thing he had with Fatawi and Mavadini in the Championship where they were just running. Now he's tweaked it where it's so focused on midfielders running in behind where the wingers constantly have to take one touch and then pass it behind all the time. That's why I think he isn't dribbling as much. Because when Madueke is doing it, that's why he don't play as much. That's why Madueke don't play as much, because he always wants to dribble. But at least Sancho can at least try and adapt to that. But the problem is you can't get the best out of his overall game. That's why he don't dribble as much, in my opinion.
Let me read some of these comments.
And then you also have, we're inverting these people all the time. Like my thing's always been, remember on the pitch, you can, sometimes we always seen it even with what's his name, with Pep. He used to invert Zinchenko. That's it. He never really used to invert Zinchenko and Kyle Walker.
Yeah,
you'd have one that's a bit wide.
Walker was the last man.
This was my thinking. Okay, cool. You invert Cucurella, and he's very good when it inverts wherever. Okay, cool. Then have Gusto doing the normal traditional right back thing, bumming up and down, which is actually good at. No, we're gonna invert both of them. Now, what his thinking is more, we flood that midfield. Do you know what I'm saying? We have all these extra men on midfield, and then we'll see what we can do. Blah blah blah. And all. But it's like now we're also missing the runners because obviously there's no Jackson and that. So it's become more of a let's see what kind of we started crossing the ball now. But bro, who's gonna get to that? You know what I'm saying? It's only Cucurella getting to that.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me read some of these comments.
Yeah, so we need that target, man. And I've played in the wings before, and I always felt like sometimes it's like those training drills, when you get the ball and pass it straight forward to the guy and then you run behind it, yeah. Wingers can do that. Like some wingers, especially like a Sancho, who can pass it forward, he can hold it up and then he can make that run or whatever, that kind of thing, innit? There's not a lot of movement in our team in terms of runs and all that. Do you get what I'm saying? It's literally just 1-2 here, 1-2, pass it back, and then let's see. It's almost like a chess game, and every time you kind of fail that pass, you start again from the back. You just keep going back to the beginning, start again.
Recycle and all that.
Yeah, so I feel like if Fofana comes back, and this is another thing, with Fofana, it's more because we played that high line, he's basically Al Van der Ven in terms of that the guy who goes back and recovers if we lose the ball, right?
Yeah.
If we put that on Colwill, he seems to like doing these bozo things when he ends up doing it. So they're good partners. They're good partners together, but individually, it's a bit like Saliba and Gabriel, if you remember. When Saliba was there, Gabriel lost his bozo gene, yeah. But before that, we never thought we'd see this kind of Gabriel. Remember?
Yeah.
Red
That's
cards
true.
and left, right, and center, and doing all this stupid stuff. So it's like obviously the whole obviously structure thing is important in defense as well, yeah. And bro, don't get me wrong. A goalkeeper will never give you confidence if you're a centre back, bro. Like if you got a bozo goalie,
especially that
who you got
bro,
in centre back, bro.
Keeper in the league, man.
You know that you have to go for that tackle. Do you get it? Because if you don't go for that tackle and clear that ball, you don't trust that guy behind you. So you're taking so many risks. Look at
also when you're defending, sometimes a defender will try and shift because he knows his goalkeeper's going to cover that side, isn't it? So he'll try and block the other side. But if you're not trusting your goalkeeper to cover that side, you get caught in two minds. You're like, which side do I stop him? Because I'm like, if my goalkeeper can't save it at the near post, then I'm gonna have to try and block it both times. It gets thing. I'm gonna get to some of these comments though, because I got a few of these comments from Chelsea fans. Maresca and the directors are wank, and they signed my 2-year-old brother because he's instinctively kicked the ball with his left foot, and his nan's 17 generations apart was half Brazilian. Poch finished. Yeah, this is mad by the way. Poch finished on 63 points. Maresca's on 49, and his fixture. What's his fixtures, bro? I know you've got us.
Yeah, second to last. We got Spurs. We got Spurs coming up.
You'll win that. That's 3 points.
Yeah. Brentford away. So when I say Brentford away,
that's a loss. That's a loss.
No, that's not a loss.
You're losing to Brentford.
I could go anywhere.
He's talking. You know what it is, Mike? He's talking from a Man United perspective.
No.
He's telling me this is a loss.
They've only
Bro,
beat Brentford. They've only beat Brentford once since Brentford got promoted, and that was earlier on this season.
Yeah, we've had
fair.
a poor,
But I could go anywhere, like legit, because Brentford are Brentford, man. They'll either like be like sick on their day or shit on their day.
Ipswich at home, you should beat them. Fulham away. To be fair, I do think you'll beat them. Although Fulham away is difficult, but West Ham and Derby as well. But I reckon you'll beat them. Yeah. Everton at home, you're going to draw. Liverpool at home, the league might be wrapped up by then. Let's say the league's wrapped up. Yeah, you got to give them a guard of honor. Draw. Newcastle away, you're losing most likely. You've got slapped there the last couple of years. United at home, again, that can go either way. To be honest with you, I don't really know. Some of these games as well, you don't know because in 3 weeks' time, Chelsea could start clicking into gear again, or you could have another injury crisis. You don't. We
can have this. What did you call it? We can have that, mashallah, beautiful football.
You know? Exactly. You can have the mashallah, bruv, the inshallah, all that stuff, bruv. What's that joke when Rota Shaw's like, he goes to the girl, he's like, when I first saw you, I said mashallah. Now I say inshallah.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Now I say inshallah. And then you got Forest away, which on the last day of the season, which is kind of crazy. You're not going to win that either, so it's going to be mad though.
It's difficult, bro.
You have to win some of these games.
This is why that period we had in December, yeah. Do you remember that easy where we started losing and we dropped so many points? That was supposed to be the easy period, which would have basically helped us. You know what I'm saying? And kind of covered for us in terms of if we ended up going into this period. In terms of if you got all your points over there, you're kind of allowed to drop a few points over here, innit? You got a bit of leeway in that sense. Do you get what I'm saying? But yeah, man, it's one of them ones, man. You know what I'm saying? Looking very spooky, bro. Newcastle, United, Forest, Liverpool, Everton, all not far from each other, innit? So
yeah, man.
I'm just hoping we click again, and yeah, man, I'm kind of just waiting to get this top 4, get this.
I can't wait for the last end of the season, bro. I can't lie, I'm excited, man. I'd love to us to still be in the FA Cup because I think we'd win it, to be honest with you. But yeah, I mean, we're clicking into gear at the right time. We've done the same thing last season, to be honest with you. We started playing decent towards the end of last season. I don't know our results, because I can't really remember our results. We started playing half decent towards the end of the season. And obviously Ten Hag changed the tactics, and now Bruno's clicked into gear. Obviously, since we all know Roy Keane criticised him and as I said, I think right now he's the best attacking midfielder on form in the league. Because you look at
Obrigado tax, said it. You know
what's that? What does that mean?
Obrigado tax, Portuguese. You know that one? The Amorim effect.
Oh yeah, no, maybe. He was awful when Amorim first came in. It's only really the last couple of weeks. You know what I mean? He's been getting GA every game. He's creating goals.
He's streaky in it though.
Yeah, he is streaky.
Yeah, it looks like a purple patch. You know that it feels like it's going to be a purple patch because we've seen this when he first came in.
If he has a purple patch and he wins me the Europa League, I couldn't care less. He clicks into gear at the right point of the season.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, it's more frustration if it's like throughout the whole season he keeps doing this where he goes to the purple patch and stinks it all the time. If he gets you Europa League, it means something, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly, bro. Yeah, I'm saying we're clicking into gear. I'd say if we were still in the FA Cup, we'd be looking like we can have actual half decent season. To be honest, I know even then, like if we win a few games, we win 5 games. What we got 10 games left or 11 games left? We win 5 games. We probably get top 10. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're only 4 points off. I think I want to check. Let me check the table. Yeah, I could be wrong. We're 4 points off.
The league is so tight. If you go on somewhat of a street, you can rise like 3-4.
We're 7 points off top 10. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, but like, do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we win a few games. I don't think we will, by the way. We haven't won back-to-back games all season, but we're in good form. As I say, Bruno's in some top form in a minute. And we're starting to score a few goals. Rasmus Højlund scored again on the international break. He scored his last game for United. Hopefully he gets a bit of confidence and actually just go on a little purple patch like he did last season. Because there was a point last season where he scored about 7 goals in 6 games. Do you know what I'm saying? And that made his season look half decent. If he can do that this season, we'll get a few more points and Do you know what I'm saying? Garnacho looks better on the right wing. Mainu's coming back in, I think, a week after international break. So a week after the thing, he probably missed the first leg of the Lyon game. But other than that, should be back for the second one. Ahmad as well. They're saying Ahmad will be back hopefully before the end of the season, especially if we get to the Europa League final. He'll probably be back. He'll probably be back for the last 2 or 3 weeks of the Premier League season. So Do you know what I'm saying? If we've got the Europa League back, hopefully we do get him back in. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. The only thing I'm worried about in the Europa League, obviously, Leon is a good team. Ray and Cherky, baller. It's the semi-final if we play Bilbao. That's what I'm worried about. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the team that I don't really want to play.
I haven't really watched Bilbao this season. How they're doing? I didn't do well in La Liga.
They're fourth, bro, but they're literally right behind the top three. I could check right now. I don't know if they've dropped off recently, but they were literally about 4 points off them when I checked. It might have.
Oh, my days.
Yeah, they're 8 points off Barca, but Barca have got a game in hand, so they're 8 points off Barca. They're 8 points off Madrid. Like they're 52 and 60, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen, they're not going to win the league, but they're technically, another 3 point swing of Barca. Let's say that. Let's say they close the gap to 5 points. They're in a title race. Do you know what I'm saying?
They're a good team though, because that title race is tough, man. The two Madrid teams and Barcelona, like if you're like not far away from them, that's tough, man. Like you go for the Europa League, they could have a good season, especially Inaki Williams. And Inaki Williams is still going at it, man. He's always rises in big games from what I see. So that's the Williams brother I'd be afraid of if I was coming up against Bilbao. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm saying I don't know if I don't know. Yeah, hopefully Rangers beat them, brother. That's what I'm saying. Hopefully the Rangers do them.
Oh, Rangers Bilbao is going to be a proper fixture, you know.
I want Amorim out. We got games in hand. Yeah, man, Amorim, as I said, bruv, back Amorim, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Because I kept getting people telling me, oh, you got to sack him, or look what he's doing, he's not getting the best out of these players, and and bruv, all of a sudden, do you know what I'm saying? A few more weeks, and they're starting, these average players actually look half decent at times, do you know what I'm saying? I still think that you should give him the summer, no matter what. We could end up crumbling. I'm not saying we can't, but we're starting to beat teams that we should beat now. Which I'm saying the players weren't doing at the time, and I think you look at, like, for me, I still think you need to give him 5, 6, 7 players minimum, but you desperately need a left hand and a striker. You need to add goals to this team, because goals, we all know, goals just wins you games you don't deserve to win. Do you know what I'm saying? You win games when you score goals that you don't deserve to win. If you have a striker, look at Chris Wood, bruv. Like Forrester probably had bare games this season he didn't deserve to win. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd always go back to the Spurs game, the Palace game, but we would have won them games if we had a striker. We would have buried them. Do you know what I'm saying? Not even a striker, just people with the team that can score goals. And like these types of things, they just make the small differences that turn into big differences across the season, and they get 10, 12 points. And look, now Bruno's clicking into gear. He's starting to think.
Touchline, a quick question. Do you want to go over your fixtures, the Premier League?
What the upcoming ones, or
yeah. So what I'm seeing is
we got hard figures.
You got Forest away at 1st of April, and then on the 6th, so 5 days later, you got the Manchester derby.
I'll tell you what, we'll lose to Forest, but we'll beat Man City.
I can see that happening. Yeah,
I can see that happening because Amorim seems to be.
He's already beaten Man City this season. We beat him the last 2 times he played them. They're dog shit. They're dog shit. Gonzalez, that geezer, just signed for 60 million, just got sent off. Dog shit, as I said. They've got no attacking power. KDB comes on for 20 minutes, does fuck all. He gets a cardio session. He can barely run. He's been fat for years. Yeah, Haaland's. I know he scored. I think he scored a goal the other day. But even then, he scored 20 goals this season in the league, right? But he scored about 10 in the first 5 games. Do you know what I'm saying? So he's not.
Yeah, that's bad for him. For him, that's bad standards.
Because he set up this 50 goal thing that he was chasing in his first season, and everyone thought that was normal.
Do you know what I'm saying? I'm only worried about Savio, but if you put Mazraoui on his side, this Heaven guy, by the way, Mamouche actually good, Mamouche and Savio, but cool. This Heaven guy we signed, by the way, from Arsenal. Can we pay you more, Arsenal? We got him half price. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolute unreal, bruv. Like I didn't even realize it. Do you know what I'm saying? Same with Euro, by the way. Euro recently, I know he's got injured again. So he's not got injured again, but when he just before his injury, like a month, maybe about 6 weeks before his injury, he was actually starting to pick up his performances and he was actually playing really well. But Heaven's come in straight away. And against Arsenal, we done a little cameo, played well. I think it was a Fulham game he played well. But against Leicester, the game he got injured, the first half, bro, there was a time, where they were running through on goal. And as a young centre back, it's very easy just pull him back, get a red card. Do you know what I'm saying? He made a sick recovery tackle, got in front of him, won the ball perfectly clean, and got it. Do you know what I'm saying? And he's looked good. He's they thought he'd done an ACL, but he hasn't. He's in a protective boot. He should be back in a few weeks, to be fair. So hopefully we get him. We have Euro, Mazraoui. I'm not worried about Savio. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I think Savio's a guy that's a creator, and he's not really a goal scorer. You don't really expect him to score goals. Yeah. So if we could just keep them to a minimal, because defensively, as I've always said, we were actually good. I wouldn't be so like I'm not worried about De Ligt on Haaland. I'm really not. I'm worried about I'm not worried. I wouldn't be worried about it. I think De Ligt would give him a job, do him a job for him. And things like that. And I feel like we'll score them and we'll break them on a breakaway account. Like we did with Arsenal, bro. We popped them off the park in the second half. We should have won. We should have won against Arsenal. Do you know what I'm saying? We had 4 or 5 chances. And let's have it right. We know Edison isn't making those saves David Raya made. I'm not saying we're going to make the exact same chances, but David Raya, made, like, bruv, you're a Chelsea. Everyone here has experienced David De Gea and his judge, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's experienced David De Gea's judge. I remember when Hazard ran for
I remember, that Arsenal game, where he was just doing
David De Gea could save the entire time. Exactly, that's what I said. As an Arsenal fans, we now feel what they felt. Do you know what I'm saying? Because and De Gea used to do that against everyone, bro. De Gea used to make 6 or 7 fucking saves a game, bro. And you're just like, how has he done that? Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm looking at. I seen a clip of what's his name? Onana helping people take free kicks, in his international team. Bro, he ran
talking to the boomer, bro.
Bro, this is what I'm saying. Majority of these goalkeepers are failed midfielders, bro. Nowadays, they're failed.
He was in La Masia. He probably was in 6 in the rondos, bro. He was in a piggy in the middle doing rondos, bro. That's what he was doing.
Yeah,
La Masia, bro.
Just kicking the ball, just doing crosses on that. You know that was he just crossed the ball, and then man just one day looked at him and said, "You know what? You just dashed the goalkeeping gloves at him."
There's no way he was a goalkeeper when he was growing up, bruv. He's small. He's small as fuck. He's got small arms. Do you know what I mean? Like, deal with the card you dealt with in life. Do you know what I'm saying? Who would have?
Unless he was fat when he was a kid. Because when you're playing football in school, you put the fat guy in goal.
Aaron, what do you mean, bro? Aaron, what do you mean? I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means. They win in the Europa. Yeah, he's talking about United. He's a Liverpool fan, by the way. He said United win. Said United win the FA Cup and Europa. I actually think we would have won the FA Cup had we beaten Fulham. Looking at who's still in the competition and things like that, because I didn't expect Newcastle to go out to Brighton. They were a team I'm worried about, but I'm not worried about playing any of those teams at Wembley. Anyone, Man City. I reckon we would have beat any of them at Wembley. It was if we got a Forest away or something like that, I wouldn't have been thingy. But yeah, for me. Big up to Payless.
Touch. Sorry, before you change the subject or whatever. Yeah, you know what Onana? A lot of people don't know about, but when he used to play at this team, bro, even Inter, they'd have most of the possession, so he'd barely even have to make saves. But then when he came to United,
that's one thing I don't blame him for, because he shouldn't be taking 20 shots a game. We shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be considering that.
But then remember, in that first season, he was having 60 shots or something.
So we conceded like the second most shots, and we was averaging the second most shots conceded a game or something because of.
So he was making saves, but now he's almost like not making saves. But then he's not even good in possession. Like his ball, like the way he's
thumping the ball up to Rasmus, and then Rasmus can't hold it up.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know.
Watch Frankfurt will slap Spurs. Yes, Frankfurt will beat Spurs, bro. We would beat City, bruv. Like I'm not scared of Man City, bruv. Like we are the one club that's always had their number. Like I know they beat us a couple times. I'm not saying they haven't. We've always had their number though. Like teams have each other's numbers, innit? Like Chelsea have Spurs' number. Yeah. Whereas Chelsea just always beat Spurs. We've always had a good record. Even under Ollie, we beat them 3 times in one season. Do you know what I'm saying? Pep beat Ollie. I want to say twice in about 8 times. No, maybe about 3 times, about 8 times. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, we've always had a decent record.
Pep doesn't like people that play counter-attack.
Yeah, he doesn't. But even then, it wasn't that. We genuinely at times played them off the park, like when we played them at times. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Also, this Man United team always rise in big games on transition anyway. Like, when you guys let your players love running into space, that's where you benefit.
Yeah, that's their thing, innit? Like, Mike, their things just every time I watch United, their best play comes in transition.
Yeah.
Like the time you see them play well or score goals, it comes in transition. The minute they don't do that is when you start seeing them just play poorly. When it comes to just possession-based football, a lot of the times you see them struggle. Now it's obviously slightly getting better over time. Obviously, with some of the players not playing there.
You just got to get attackers in that as well. You can't.
You are missing profiles. You are missing specific profiles in certain places, but. Yeah, man. There's a reason me and Mike didn't say anything when he said you're gonna slap City. This season is just one of them things, isn't it? anyone. It's just anyone. Like, you know what? Pep's
we've got a really bad week of Leon, Newcastle, Leon. I just said, but being the Newcastle game off, just play a bunch of make 5-6 changes. Don't get pumped 7-0 or something like that, but just play a load of not reserves, but like bench players and things like. Just do it. Do you know?
You go for Europa, man. There's nothing to play for in the league.
Newcastle might still be high. The Newcastle might still be drunk, bro. They might just give you that game 3 points and.
No, so they won't because Newcastle was like Man United to Newcastle was like a cup final for them, bruv. They love playing us. They just love it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they were set up.
Nice 5 minutes of fame. Do you know what I'm saying?
But then they're still trying to get into the top 4, so you don't really know where they are, where they are mentally.
Yeah, you might as well just go for the Europa League at this point. I know you guys want to finish as high as possible and make it respectable at this point, but yeah, go for the Europa, man. I think like Leon Man United, I can't call that to be honest. I know Turkey's playing well, but still,
then it's Wolves, Bournemouth, Brentford, and West Ham. I think we beat West Ham. I think we beat Wolves, both at home. Bournemouth, they've been shit recently. I don't know. We could beat both of them, but we could also lose to Bournemouth and Brentford. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we'll beat Wolves and West Ham. I don't even remember the last time West Ham won at Old Trafford, bruv. I'm sure
2006. I'm pretty sure, bruv.
Oh yeah, I was one.
It was a season where Tevez, the Great Escape? No? Yeah, the Great Escape where we just about survived, where we beat you lot. And then Tevez moved to you lot the next year. That was the last time, bro. I was like 3, bro. So that was the last time we won at Old Trafford. The only time we beat you at Old Trafford was in the Cup once, so that was it. Like I'm not giving my hopes on that, bro. We're not winning that.
Yeah, so they can't get drunk over the Mickey Mouse law. Not like they won the FA Cup. Even Mike knows. Yeah, well, they can. Do you know what I'm saying? It's their first major trophy in 70 years. Don't start this argument with Varney. He would start going on about some people literally were born, grew up, had kids, had a wife, died, and they still don't want to see him win a trophy. Do you know what I'm saying? That's literally some people's lives.
There's people that are holding cards, or boards with their family members on there who are not here anymore. They've never seen Newcastle win anything, bro. Like for them, it's like so emotional, isn't it? Like I know my cousin lives in Newcastle as well. She was telling me like the whole city just changed, blood. There's some different aura in the city. Like it was like they won trophies, you know. It's like it's so hard because even you know what it is, I've seen because remember straight after the cup final, never far. I think Specs on there. I don't know if you know. I think Georgie Specs or George Specs. I don't know.
I've heard of him.
I know he's a cool brother, man. The Newcastle fan. And he's a bit older as well, obviously older than us. But it's like, man's like, we won the trophy. It still hasn't sank in. Like, I don't even know how to react because this whole feeling's new to me. Imagine, bro. Like,
bro, that was me a couple years ago, bro.
I'm used to it. Like, I've been to the
day. No one should ever take any trophy for granted.
Like, another one in the back.
Yes, sir. The last trophy you won was the Club World Cup, innit? If someone had told you, someone had told you at that time, Roman's on the pitch celebrating with a trophy, and he's going to leave in 2 months because of what's going to happen to him, and you're not going to win a trophy. You don't even know when you're going to win the Conference League this year. But I'd say Conference League, Chelsea fans aren't taking that seriously. But cool, you can take that seriously. Yeah, it's major honour. Yeah, but if you're going to tell them that, you might, after the Conference League, you might go another 4 years without a trophy. What, you're going to win 1 trophy in the next 7 years? You'd be like, what? Nah, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, you think that I thought that I'm going to be here with no trophies since that Club World Cup? Bro, this is weird.
You might win this year.
The only reason, that I'm not like that, I haven't lost it yet, is because we have been going to finals, innit? The last couple of years, we are actually getting to finals. It's just we kept facing.
It's still the mentality of Roman is still rubbing off a little bit. Like there's still what they said. We had that with the Glazers, and then when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer came in, it just flooded. We got to one final, which was the Europa League. Other than that, we didn't get to finals.
100%. So, but this is the thing. So, what Aaron was saying about the Mickey Mouse thing is kind of relates more to us now with the Conference League in terms of we can win that and just kind of look at it like it's a bit, you know what is what it is. I think what it means more to us in terms of the only thing we can brag about, if you want to call it that, is that we've kind of won every European trophy available. Yeah, if that makes sense. Yes, you have to be low on the table to get that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's a trophy and we've achieved it. That's the only thing I can get out of that, basically. And besides that, it's just, bro, we went in the competition. He done the interview, innit? He did the
big up to him, man. This guy's a player, bro. Do you know, he bossed that game, by the way.
Him and Tonali and Joe Linton, bro.
But I didn't think Tonali and Joe Linton played that well. I thought it was all Bruno, bro. He was doing everything.
Yeah, but it's just physically, bro. Like Liverpool were physically dead, and Newcastle just ran them over in midfield, like them 3 together, bro. in
Listen,
big games, he
Gravenberch
always
for me,
works.
yeah. Gravenberch for me has been the best midfielder in the league this season, yeah. However, he got Gravenberch,
Yeah,
like his
yeah,
name.
okay,
He
yeah,
got
yeah.
done, bro. He got absolutely outplayed by
Yeah.
Bruno Guimaraes. Bruno Guimaraes is unreal that game,
But
bro.
you
That
know
was
this, a lot of people don't keep this in consideration, yeah. When I watched that PSG game, someone asked, I don't remember what show I was on. It was, you know what it was? It was on Northside's match reaction, yeah. I don't remember what game it was, but we done a match reaction. Lex was on it, and Northside and I were on it. Bro, it's like, I was asking him, because that day, obviously they played that PSG game, the second leg, yeah. And it was like, the minute it went into extra time, I think Trent got injured, and then I think they went into extra time and all that, yeah. I was like, bro, they might be doomed. My only
I
hope,
said they were losing on penalties, by the way. I said they're going to lose to PSG. I said they're going to lose on penalties. I swear that.
my only hope, yeah, was that because I knew they had Nunes on that. I didn't have any confidence in them and taking pens. I was like, yeah, you know what, they might be able to get away with it. But it's because they ran so much. If you watch that PSG game, you seen how it went back and forth, back and forth. It was at high intensity, innit? So it wasn't one of them games where it was just boring side to side football. So it's not like they were kind of conserving energy. They was just drained, and then went into extra time. Trent got injured. Konate went down as well, which is, you know, some of their main players and that. And then obviously when the game wasn't that many days away from that Wednesday, innit? So it was one of them. I was like, you know what, yo, Mike, so you watched that what game? Newcastle played you lot that day. Remember, you played Newcastle
Yeah,
around
one
that
day,
time,
yeah.
and players were kept going down because I watched some of that game. So the Newcastle players were going. I was like, ooh. So is that gonna affect them? You know, is that gonna affect them?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then
We was our last game before the final, yeah.
the energy and all that stuff that they gave in that final, bro. Like, this is the thing. Like, we even seen it in the PSG game in terms of, bro, when you have technical ability, players with technical ability, it's superior than just runners, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Look at Vitinha, bro. He's the
You need
size
a
of
mix, though.
Dan Burn's leg, and he was
Bruv, I've
running
got
that
tweets,
midfield.
by the way. I've got tweets from 2-3 years ago saying this Vitinha guy's a baller, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying?
He was at Wolves. He was at Wolves during
I
COVID.
didn't
He
even know
wasn't
that.
getting minutes
That was
because
insane, bro.
he's not a runner. Do you know what I mean? He
Bro,
was too
almost
small.
every Portuguese player's got some links to Wolves, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got some
Northside's
links
played
to
for Wolves. Like, bro, everyone's played for Wolves.
Exactly. I
He's
won't
part
be
of the
gassed.
coaching
I'll be
staff,
happy.
you know?
But I can't lie. I will be so gassed if we win the Europa League. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll be so gassed, bruv. I
Yeah.
can't lie. I ain't seen us win a
Yeah.
European trophy
Yeah.
since 2017. The
fair.
season we've had, it's been an awful season, in our worst ever season, and it will still be better than majority of team best seasons. Or majority seasons. I mean, this season will end up being better than Spurs this season, better than Arsenal season, better than Chelsea season, better than
even Cities if they don't win the FA Cup.
yeah, better than City if they don't win the FA Cup. The only team that could ever really chat about is Liverpool, which is fair play. They've equaled the 20 league titles and that, but do you know what I'm saying? I'd still take the Europa League, bruv. And then also, what people don't ever talk about with Europa League is next season you get straight away another opportunity to win another trophy because you get the Super Cup final. And if you win the Super Cup, you've done 4 trophies in 4 years. That's what we end up doing. Do you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's not amazing by Man United standards because we were winning 7 or 8 in 4 years. We win the league titles, Champions League, but still, do you know what I'm saying? That's bruv. You said to a Tottenham fan, the next 4 years you're winning 4 trophies. They'd snap your hand off. Do you know what I'm saying? That'll be certain clubs' golden eras.
Some of them. I mean, Deji and that will tell you Carabao Cups. It's a baby trophy and that, but he never won anything.
Yeah, but there's
that's all he sees. Like, what we doing?
I got high standards. I don't want no Carabao Cup. Even Hooks was on that. Remember?
I don't entertain. I honestly don't entertain.
You know, we had this conversation with Hotspur Cave, and it was like when Carragher's comments, in my opinion, got taken a bit out of context. You know when he said about the AFCON, and he said it's not serious or whatever. Or like he didn't say something like that, but he said no. Like I think he was referring to the fact the Ballon d'Or people aren't going to care about the AFCON. Yeah, which is true. They don't really care about the AFCON. How many African players have won the Ballon d'Or? 1. Yeah. I mean, talk like people that actually represent a national in Africa. You know, there might be like a player that is African, but he represents France or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, for me, it was like no one can sit there and tell other people that the AFCON isn't a major trophy, but the same people that are sitting there having a go at Carragher are the same ones that sat there and are telling people that the League Cup isn't a major honour. And I'm like, well, how is it not a major honour? You don't make the rules of football. The same way Carragher doesn't make the rules of football to decide that the AFCON isn't a major honour. Because for me, they're all major honours. Do you know what I'm saying? They're recognised by FIFA, the FA, the EFL as major honours. They go down as a major trophy. Do you know what I'm saying? This comment here, I don't agree with. I don't agree with that. I don't agree that I don't agree that it's better than Euros. I don't agree with that. I don't believe it holds the same weight as Euros. I think Euros is the best one.
It's just relative to who it is, bro. Like at the same, like it's relative to whatever the country is. You're trying to be the best in your continent, so it's relative to whoever it is.
Frankfurt wins the Europa League. I beg, nah, mate, you don't want Frankfurt.
But you know this as well, yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. Obviously, I'm African, whatever. But for me, like, I'm also looking at it from the AFCON's big in terms of obviously the viewership and everything. Like, if you really look into it, it's actually a very big thing. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like people from the Premier League, England, and all this, the fans from here kind of don't look at they look at AFCON in a way where it's a hindrance because it gets, you know what I'm saying, it affects them.
Oh yeah, because
so they kind of look on it like, oh, them man just going over there playing. Why don't they just play?
That's arrogance of English football fans, though, because they do the same thing with other leagues. They did the same thing with other leagues. They say like, oh, they dismiss leagues. Do you know what I'm saying? Or they play in a farmers league, so that trophy don't count. Like, do you know what I'm saying? When the Premier League's an easy era of football right now. Do you know what I'm saying?
And obviously a lot of, if you also look at it, if you're just going to look at some of the African players we've seen or the players that play for European teams and stuff like that, bro, it's like there could be so much better quality over there, but it's all in Europe. Do you get what I'm saying? All these players are playing for France, Holland, and whatever.
Bro, colonization and that's what happened. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's what it led to, bro.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
And at the same time, if you look at it as well, it's obviously the football pitches aren't the best, and there's things that are affecting it. But I think it's just the way he said it, and I think some people kind of don't like him anyway, so it's a good thing.
Yeah, some people already called him racist for things he says about Salah and like, you know what I'm saying. So
the Salah thing for me is just a mad thing, innit? The Salah thing, bro, he shouldn't win Ballon d'Or anyway, bro. You know them ones. It's just one of them ones.
If you say anything negative about Salah, bro, they'll call you a fucking war criminal, bro.
Have you seen what they're doing to Rums, bro?
Oh yeah,
they say I saw that tweet about they want to stab him or something. Someone said, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying?
People take football way too personally, bro. It's so weird.
It's funny,
you can't be that's like saying Mike's rates like Palmer and that, and he's saying he's better than Bowen, and man, I'm just getting onto him, you know.
Exactly, they'll start calling Mike's
it might be that I know that Bowen and Palmer might not be on the same level as players, whatever, and I'm not saying he's bad here, but it's like maybe because Salah is like they consider him a good player, and if you compare him to Hazard, it's another good player. But it's like it don't make sense. That's just his opinion. You get what
I can't lie. People do the Hazard Salah thing. Just grow up, bro. Like, bro, you've been doing the same debate for about 4 or 5 years, and the debate doesn't make sense. But the reason why the debate doesn't make sense, is because most of these fans don't keep the same argument with other players anyway. Much as I think Hazard's better. Bro, if for example the Chelsea fans are saying Hazard's better, won't keep the same arguments with Gerrard Lampard, same with Liverpool fans. They do the exact same thing. It's just tiring, bro. Like, bro, it's go around in circles all the time, bro.
I hear it. Yeah.
But this is what I always debunk this thing, anyways, because they say, oh, you can't use GA with midfielders. So I say, cool. Well, why do you use GA for Trent then? Do you know what I'm saying? They don't, and then they don't know what to say, do they? Do you know what I'm saying? Because if you're going to use GA for midfield, if you use GA for anyone, you can't pretend GA is you don't use GA for midfielders, because Hazard was involved in every phase of play. Salah isn't. Hazard was involved in the first phase, the second phase, and the third phase.
So hard to explain.
He isn't just an attacker. He isn't just an attacker. He's a midfielder. He's a 10. Do you know what I'm saying? He's dictating the game. He's carrying the ball. He's doing all these things. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas Salah started off, when he first came to Liverpool, as an inside forward. Now he's become a bit more of a touchline playmaker at times, but he's still, majority of Salah's goals are not him doing anything spectacular. Majority of the goals are a ball over the top and he's on the end of it, or him hogging the box, scoring a tap in, being in the right place at the right time. That's his goals. Do you know what I'm saying? They're not so like
this is where two things don't become one, in terms of, you know how they say, where was this player in this game? Where he's missing, or he didn't manage to affect the game. Salah's thing, they only get onto him because he scores goals. So if his GA is not there, and he hasn't scored in the game, they'll say he's been missing, even though he goes missing when he scores goals anyway. Well, Hazard never used to score as much goals, but he would literally grab the ball from the halfway line or whatever, take it all the way to the box, and then pass it sideways for someone to tap in.
Bro, there's a video. There's a video of him. I think it was in the Champions League to Torres, and he runs past the whole team and squares it across the box. He could just put it in there himself. He's just not that type of player, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He could have done it if he wanted to. Do you know what I'm saying? But he never wanted to.
And I think affecting the game by going through all the phases, is way more difficult than just turning up at the end. In terms of your long ball over the top counter attack, and then all you have to do is run.
But then you get some nerd on Twitter,
left shoot.
So you get some nerd on Twitter that reps a footballer, and he goes, Yeah, but he's effective and efficient. Would you rather your winger be more effective and efficient than dribble more and all this stuff? And like, bro, it's like these lot don't watch.
Yeah, Mahrez has more to his game as well. Even if he
does.
does, let's
He's a better
say
player.
Mahrez did the
Mahrez
same
is
thing as
better.
Salah, where you just
He's
give
better.
him a ball over the top. He has more of a variety. He has a better
Yeah, he
first
can
touch.
score better goals.
He can
Yeah,
go on his right. He can go on his left. He puts people on their bum. You get it. He's so smart.
he scores free
that he can't-
kicks.
Yeah, so his natural
only
ability
reason
is
why-
way bigger than Salah. So it's one of them where, and then the Salah thing as well. They're telling me where's Hazard now? Was it what they called it? The longevity and that, brother. What do you mean longevity? Like, what does that mean?
Hazard was doing it in the Prem before Salah, so let's not even do that. And
He's
also, let's say
17.
the only reason why Mahrez isn't in these conversations because Pep rotates every week. So like Mahrez will start week in, week out, like Salah will start week in, week out for Liverpool. But Mahrez is a better
We
player.
haven't
Simple
really
as that.
seen anything from Salah.
Yeah.
They were in the
Just
same
one
team though, and
season at
Hazard was the best
Leicester.
player in the league. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
but one
Hazard and
season
Salah
at
were-
Leicester, we haven't seen that levels from Salah in all his seasons, in my
Hazard, I
opinion.
swear, Chelsea fans only have one legend. The way they talk about him. No,
No,
to be fair, they
but
do.
he's obviously the most recent best player that we've had, yeah.
Yeah.
And bro, I remember talking to fans at the time every week, yeah, and they always tell me we're just scared of Hazard.
Yeah, bro,
Scared
I
of
was
Hazard.
terrified of him.
We're scared of
I don't care.
Same.
People sit there and go, look how many goals Salah scored against you. I said, brother, I barely ever go into a game going, got to stop Mo Salah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, brother,
I bet Mike broke his table
you
that
can
day when
stop Mo Salah.
I've
seen Luke Shaw, Ashley Young and Luke Shaw both pocket Mohamed Salah. Yeah. If Hazard has a bad game, I know we got people say he got pocketed by Herrera. If Hazard has a bad game, it's because he had a bad game. It's not because someone pocketed him. It's because he himself. If Hazard was on
remember
it,
that day when Mourinho put Herrera on him,
yeah,
and man ended up getting sent off. He got sent off that day.
Yeah.
He kept tackling him. He was on him. He literally told him, "You're gonna stand next to him," and he literally had him, and he kept turning on him and just kicking him, and he just got sent off.
So terrified, bruv. Like,
you can tell that players can't handle him. Like,
there's things like
you've got a player.
You know, like Henri. They say about Henri. They say Henri had that aura. Like, people just was scared of him. Like, people just scared of Henri. Like, they were scared of him in the tunnel. Hazard was one of those players. No one is scared of Salah. Like, no one is scared of him, bro. Yes, he scores goals. They're scared of him maybe scoring a goal against them. No one is scared of Salah, bro. Whereas Hazard, because you know you can stop Salah. Yeah, if you give Salah a breath of a chance in a box, he'll score. If you give him a space to cross the ball in, he might make a chance.
If you make a mistake,
you make a mistake. And that's good about him. You know, that's very good. You make a mistake, he's on you, bruv. Yeah? But Hazard, you don't even need to. You could play in a perfect game. Yeah, remember the goal against West Ham? You know this, Mike. 2-0 game. Yeah. They have about 10 men behind the ball, and he gets the ball in a little bit of space, and he does 2 fake shots and goes past 3 players and smacks it with his weak foot.
I keep seeing the replay. Man just moves to the right, and then he just left. He just gone through them, and I'm like, what? I had to watch the replay.
Yeah. Bro, like coming up against, like, I've watched Eden Hazard live. Yeah, like I've watched both live, but I've watched Eden Hazard live at Upton Park and the London Stadium. Yeah, I've never seen a man dictate all phases of play by being a winger /10 and just going around every single player. Even the games we won against Chelsea, this guy was still the best player on the pitch.
And also, just before I answer this question, Hazard's not going to score the amount of goals Salah scores because Hazard was playing under Mourinho and Conte, 2 defensive managers. Whereas as soon as he went to Sarri, he scored 22 goals, got 20 assists.
Yeah, but even under Conte, it was more counter-attack. And then
exactly, it wasn't. You weren't dominating the ball.
He was further back, and he got the ball, and he made that pass. By that time, we would have scored because the Costa or someone would have went through, so he would have been way behind, innit? So he's not always finding himself in that like third phase of play or the last phase of play. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, man. And what I rate about him is the way he went out as well. He went out beating Arsenal, winning a Europa League. You know what I'm saying? And being important in that Europa League run as well. So so it was lit. Do you know what I'm saying? And you know what it is, having that Real Madrid thing on top of your head the whole time, you know? Knowing that he might leave and that.
Yeah.
It's one of them ones, isn't it? And it's unfortunate the way he went, because I watched his interview. I think, was it with John Obi Mikel, and man was telling us that he got the injury, and that idiot Munier, you know him, that right back.
He broke his ankle.
He came back from an injury. And I remember they played PSG, and man just stamped on his ankle or something, and he broke it or something like that. And then and he was almost man of the match that day. So he started to get into his groove with Real Madrid, and then he got injured.
Yeah.
And then obviously COVID came, whatever, and he never managed to do. You guys know about this, bro. If you get an injury, you go to the GP, go physiotherapist. Them man are giving you that piece of paper with the exercises and sending you home. You know the ones they tell you do these, but you never do those exercises. You know, no one really do it. I'm like, you're looking at the piece of paper, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it in a bit, and I'm like, you just forget about it. You know what I'm saying? And you go back and they ask you about the exercise. You think, oh right, I didn't do the exercise. And I think
we got to do some answer these comments here because I got going in about 10 minutes. So
yeah,
cool, you know I'm saying, well, what's this one? Hazard or Bale? What do you reckon? I'm going Hazard prime.
I'm going Hazard, yeah, Hazard.
I'm going Hazard prime.
It's close though. Hazard.
Finals. You know they're both very equal. Though Bale done it in 2 UCL finals, so there's a high level to that. But overall, as a player, I'm going Hazard, bro. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Even the World Cup, people thingied, by the way, with Hazard. They pretend that he wasn't the best player at the World Cup. He was one of the best players, at least. He was top 3 players at that World Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? And they go, oh, he did nothing in that France game. You know, so the France game where he done about 11 dribbles or some shit and dog-ragged them all game. Yeah, and there's like,
there's only one player. What did anyone else do on that fucking pitch for Belgium, bro? Belgium. Think about that golden generation for Belgium. Yeah, Hazard was the only one that lived up to expectation for his nation. No one else did. No one else did fuck all for Belgium.
Right, we've got to answer some of these questions here because we've got some comments, right? Was that Chelsea's best era when Hazard was there? I wouldn't say that. I think that was one of your worst eras under Roman. I think that was the downfall of the Roman era. I think your best era was when Mourinho came in, so about 2012.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, you can maybe argue before. I know you won the Champions League in 2012, but you were falling off. You finished 6th that year. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So for me, it's more just before that. I think
about 010 where you won the double.
Ancelotti.
Yeah. I think
you got to the UCL final. You should have. People say you should have got back to back when you obviously the Barca thing happened. I hear it, man. Who flopped harder, Coutinho or Barca or Hazard Madrid?
Hazard Madrid probably, but it's not really his fault.
I'd say Hazard Madrid, but Coutinho Barca was hilarious because he went on loan to Bayern and scored 2 goals and won a Champions League.
Yeah, but he was still in his prime though, isn't it? Coutinho when he went.
Was it like 28? 28? Was he 28? I don't remember.
Like you probably say Hazard Madrid, but Coutinho Barca's left them in a worse state because Madrid got rid of Hazard like that. They cancelled his contract, bro. They didn't care. They had $2, mate. They got so much money. Do you know what I'm saying? With Barca in a bad financial. Would you say
Champions League, bro? You know that much. Remember, he never had it because he left, and then I think the season he left, we won the Champions League. And we even played him, and he came on. He was shaking everyone's hands and that. He was so happy for us for that. You know that.
There's a picture of him shaking. He's doing that to Salah's head. He's touching Salah's head. Have you seen the picture?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Back of the head. He slapped Salah on the back of the head. Oh, it's fucking.
Well, little man.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Anyways, Mike, do you want to talk about your club for 5 minutes before I wrap up, bro?
Yeah.
What do you?
I need to go for a toilet though. I can't. I'll be back in 1 minute. You lot chat, man.
All right, come. Yeah. West Ham just be West Ham, bro. Like my whole thing is like, got a new manager. Obviously the old manager, as much as like I don't rate these players, the old manager still wasn't like getting the best out of what he has. Yeah. As much as like this squad ain't good enough, it ain't 15th. It ain't 15th worthy, bro. And like especially when you see like teams like Bournemouth. Forest over-exceeded with their squad. A lot of people weren't rating their players before they went into Europe, like before they got into the European places around that time and stuff. Like even teams like Newcastle, Brighton, they've got great players. Well, Newcastle got great players, but they are underinvested in their squad and they're still 6th or wherever they are. Brighton are in a European race, and that Brighton team ain't really played well all season. They've just got a few good individuals that bail them out in games like João Pedro, etc. This is the same team that have been beaten like 7-0. So that's why they see with us a couple players like especially technicians in midfield and a presence up front. We need those to target those specific positions, because if you look at Graham Potter's time, he's had Caicedo, Bissouma, McAllister, Lallana, Pascal Gross, whoever, at Brighton specifically, where they could play their system regardless because of how technical they were on the ball. We've got players like Edson Alvarez, who's just a Mexican with a temper, and that is it. He does nothing to him, sort of thing. So like, he needs midfielders. He needs an actual presence up front, bro. As much as like Lopetegui wasn't getting the best out of these players because he's a bozo, Potter needs a certain type of player that can get the best out of him and way to play possession-based football, but also actual players with sense off the ball that can stay tight defensively. Because what I like about Potter, it's not just purely attacking or purely defensive. He keeps a balance where we're hard to beat off the ball, but we can still play good in possession if he has the right players. a lot of these players are kind of overrated in a sense, but at the same time, a lot of the new players have actually played quite well. And it's always the Mr. Reliables, the Wan-Bissakas, the Bowens, the Tadibos, the Kilmans that actually play quite well. It's all the others that I'm worried about. The Mavropanos, the Alvarez's that need to leave. Like we need to actually like identify attackers that are going to get injured every week, and that can really run at defenses. Like Somerville's been injured, and he's had a bad season in terms of like him as an individual, but he needed to play a lot more earlier this season because of the manager that was at the helm at the time wasn't getting enough of a chance. Players like Mohamed Kudus, as much as he's a big name, isn't the player that people think he is. But that is a different conversation for another day because I could go on about that for about an hour straight.
Yeah, I always say that as well. I think he's mad overrated.
He's mad overrated, bro. Bro, do you know what it is, touchline as well? He was good in possession in the Eredivisie, yeah. But you know the Premier League, as much as it ain't great, it's an upgrade on the Eredivisie in terms of like, yeah, and also he's better at running in transition. So he's always good against the Arsenals. He's always good against the Cities, but that's because he has space. When it comes against the Newcastles that are actually going to stay somewhat structured in defense, you can't unlock defenses. And it's the same with Paquetá. Paquetá's overrated as well.
Wow. So Paquetá is a good player. I just feel like he's fallen off at West Ham, but I think Paquetá won you the Conference League, bro. You know
look, I like Paquetá. I wanted him to do well. Like I gave him so many chances, bro.
Yeah.
But there's only so many chances, only so many times where there's no pressure when you want the ball and you're constantly giving away the ball all the time. And I get you need combination players, understandable. But at the same time, there's like needless mistakes where he's like passing the ball across the middle of the pitch and giving away the ball constantly, where we get hit on the turnover all the time because of him. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of times we do make defensive mistakes, but when we don't make defensive mistakes and we're actually solid, it's usually some bozo like an Alvarez or Paquetá that's causing us to concede something. But Potter needs a few players, man. Like a bit like how you are with Amorim when it comes to like he needs a few players and that. That's me with Potter right now. I think this is like the pre-season, like who's going to die at sea in this system? Whoever does die at sea, get them up. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up because I got a shot, man, before it shuts. So yeah, big up to Yassar, big up to Mike's, big up to the chat, man, big up to Ziad, big up to Aaron, big up to Playlist, big up to Answer, I don't say your name, big up to hold on, let's find it. Arteta's Lightball, big up to Musty, big up to Melon, big up to Ziad, as I think I already said that, big up to AFC Always, big up to Rashid, big up to Christian, big up to Kurt. We are 85 subscribers off 500. Nice. So big up to everyone. Make sure you do share. Make sure you do subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to these two as well. Yasser, how many subs you on, bro? You are still on 161. Make sure you subscribe to Mike's and Yasser, man. Get Mike's to 830 and get Yasser to 165 or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Big up, man. Big up.
Make sure you subscribe to these lot. Subscribe if you're new. I'm gonna try. I'm live Monday, people. 100%. I got Ahmed. Or I say his name. Ahmed coming on the channel. Yeah, I'm saying we're gonna do a massive. Huh? With the afro, not the afro, but like massive hair, I know. We're gonna do a big United show, bruv. Yeah, we're gonna be discussing some things, so make sure you're on there, people. I don't know. I'm gonna do live again tomorrow. No matter what, I'm gonna do a live again tomorrow, hopefully. But yeah, I'll be live with Ahmed that day. And yeah, man, bless up, people. Subscribe to all the guys. Subscribe to Yasser. Subscribe to me. And I'm out. Bosh. In the stream.